We're going to be reading from the book of Isaiah, chapters 11 through 15. Bear with me as I try to get through this, y'all willing. The book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 1. And a rod shall come forth from the stump of Yishai, and a sprout from his roots shall be fruitful. Verse 2. The spirit of Yahuwah shall rest upon him, the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge and the fear of Yahuwah. That package right there, it don't get no greater than these superpowers. The spirit of Yahuwah shall rest upon him, the spirit of wisdom and understanding. That's what we likely to receive when we obey and read, the words of the Most High that he spoke through his kings like David and Solomon in Psalms and Proverbs and Ecclesiastes. That spirit of wisdom and understanding and knowledge. But it don't stop there. That spirit of counsel and might, that courage. You know what I mean? That's where that spirit of might come from, that spirit of courage, the spirit of knowledge and of the fear of Yahuwah. So that hatred for evil. All of that is what Isaiah is describing shall come upon this stump of Yeshai. And just when we know who Yeshai is, let's because I'm reading from the Hebrew text with Hebrew terminologies, and just so we're not mistaken, let's see what it says in the English. So Yeshai is Jesse. So this is supposed to be Jesse. Yeshai is Jesse. That's interesting. I gotta assume that this is the Mashiach that is, the speaking of, that Isaiah is speaking of, referring to, who will come forth from the stump of Jesse, Yeshai, and a sprout from his roots shall be fruitful. Fruitful as in showing the fruits of the Spirit, which are the Spirit of Yah, and it says the Spirit of Yah shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of Yahuwah. Verse 3, and shall make him breathe in the fear of Yahuwah. Make him breathe in the fear of Yahuwah. So the hatred of evil, he'll breathe in. This, every time we hear the term fear of Yah, fear of Yahuwah, fear of God, you always equate that to the fear, basically hating evil, your hatred for evil. That's what that is, according to the book of Proverbs, chapter 8. The fear of Yah is to hate evil. So always equate that to, hating, the hatred towards evil. And he's saying that, and he shall make him breathe in the fear of Yah. And he shall not judge by the sight of his eyes, nor decide by the hearing of his ears. Verse 4, but with righteousness he shall judge the poor, and shall decide with straightness for the meek ones of the earth, and shall strike the earth with the rod of his mouth, and slay the wrong with the breath of his lips. Come on, man. This is the word. So he's not going to judge. This is the Mashiach. When he returns, he's not going to judge with who he sees dressing in suits and ties and, Hebrew garments and, ancient Hebrew garments, Hebraic garments, ancient garments or whatever. The head wrapping and all that. The CC. Even though we should wear our CCs, he's not going to judge of your, based on your appearance. He's not going to judge based on what you're saying. He's not going to judge based on what you're saying. He's going to judge based on what is fair, what is straight, what you've done, your actions, how you treated each other. This is how he's not going to judge you based on your looks, what you're wearing, your suits, your ties, your head garments, and your everything. You know what I mean? He's not going to judge you according to your appearance. He's not going to judge you according to what you're saying out your mouth, claiming that you believe and you have faith and you saved by grace. He's not going to judge you by that. He's going to judge by your actions, how you treat each other, with fairness, straightness. It says, but with righteousness, meaning obedience. Always equate righteousness to obedience. So he's going to judge. It says, but with righteousness, he shall judge the poor, and shall decide with straightness. Decide with straightness, meaning he's going to decide with fairness. For the meek ones of the earth, and shall strike the earth with the rod of his mouth, meaning his words. The rod of his mouth is the words of God, the words of the Most High. The instructions, the spiritual law. He's going to strike the earth with all that, with the rod of his mouth, and slay the wrong with the breath of his lips. The breath of his lips is the breath of the Most High. It's always been the breath of God. The oxygen that he was going to slay the wrong with the breath of his lips. Also the word. Also the word. Verse 5. This is the book of Isaiah, by the way, chapter 11. And we're in verse 5. And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins. Righteousness, meaning obedience, shall be the girdle of his loins. Meaning he's demonstrated righteousness. He's demonstrated obedience as when he walked amongst. He's demonstrated all of that. He's demonstrated obedience, fairness, mercy, grace. I'm sorry, not grace, but yeah, grace as well, but compassion, empathy. He's done that. So this will be his girdle. This is what he be known for. His loins, and trustworthiness, the girdle of his waist. So he could be trusted. He could be trusted. These words could be trusted. How he moved could be trusted. This is the Mashiach. This is the Messiah. This is Isaiah basically painting the prophecy of the coming of the Mashiach, the Messiah. This is chapter 11 in Isaiah, by the way. Verse 6. And a wolf shall dwell with the lamb, and a leopard lie down with the young goat, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and a little child leads them. Come on, man. This is Isaiah depicting the prophecy of the future of basically when the coming of the Mashiach comes, when he finished judging, all will be all. And this is the only time where animals will dwell amongst each other, the wolf amongst the lamb, without it being any, food, food chain, without it being any food chain, situation there, where with the wolf trying to basically eat the lamb. This is clearly after the day of judgment. This is clearly in times of where, all will be at peace, even the animals with each other. The wolf shall dwell with the lamb, and a leopard lie down with the young goat, without him trying to eat the goat or trying to eat the lamb. And the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, without the lion trying to eat a calf. And a little child leads them. A little child is safe enough to lead these animals. This is clearly after the day of judgment. It's clearly in the kingdom. Clearly in the world with the kingdom. Verse 7. A cow and a bear shall feed. Picture that. Their young ones lie down together. Picture that. And a lion eats straw. A lion eats straw? Come on, man. A lion eating straw? Picture that. And a lion eat straw like an ox. So a lion eating straw like an ox, this is clearly in the time of the day, after the day of judgment, in the time of the kingdom, where all is well and, everybody is put in their place, even the animals. Verse 8, and the nursing child shall play by the cobra. Come on. The nursing child playing by a snake, a cobra's hole. And the weaned child shall put his hand in the adder's den without being bit. It's clearly a world with the kingdom in it. This is clearly the world with the heavenly kingdom in it. For animals to behave and not lash out or try to protect themselves. All would be at peace, even the babies and the animals. Babies amongst the animals. Our babies, our children amongst the animals. Be safe. Verse 9, they do no evil, nor destroy in all my set apart mountain. That's the set apart mountain. That's the kingdom. Ding, ding, ding. Set apart mountain equals to the kingdom, the set apart kingdom. For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of Yahuwah, as the waters cover the sea. So the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the Most High, his instructions, his knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. What is fair? What is righteous? What is right? What is just? Verse 10, and in that day there shall be a root of Yishai, that's Jesse, standing as a banner to the people. Unto him the nations shall seek, and his rest shall be esteemed. This is the Mashiach. This is the Messiah. This is Yahushua HaMashiach. This is who will be standing. This is who will be standing. This is who will be left standing. And this is who everyone, the nations will seek, shall seek and gravitate to and rest in his glory. Verse 11, and this shall be in that day that Yahuwah sets his hand again a second time to recover the remnant of his people who are left from Ashur, and from Mitzrayim, that's Egypt, from Pathros, and from Cush. That's relatives of Egypt, Cush, from Elam, and from Shinar, from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. He's calling, this is the remnant of his people. So take pride. You don't take, not too much take pride, but be inspired by you being known as his people. Not just the people who claim to be their people, but this is clearly, people of the area of Egypt, and Cush is relatives of people from the area of Egypt. Mitzrayim is Egypt. Let me read it again. This is chapter 11, verse 11. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 11. And what it reads, it says, and it shall be in that day, this is the day of judgment, this is the day of the kingdom. And it shall be in that day that Yahuwah sets his hand again. So this is the second time he sets his hand to recover the remnant. He says sets his hand again a second time to recover the remnant of his people who are left from. So he's calling these people his people who are left. And this is the second time he will, recover his people. So his people who are his people who are left from Ashur, not familiar with what that place is or who that people are, but whoever's from Ashur, modern day Ashur, these are his people. And from Mitzrayim, Egypt, whoever's from Egypt, these are his people. From Pathros, who's ever from Pathros, these are his people. And from Cush, whoever's from Cush, these are his people. From Elam, whoever's from Elam, these are his people. And from Shinar, whomsoever from Shinar, these are his people. And from Hamath, who's ever from Hamath, these are his people. And from the island of the sea. So even the islands, whoever's from the islands are his people. The islands of the sea. This is him. This is speaking of the return of the only begotten son, the Messiah, Yahushua HaMashiach. And this is describing the kingdom, earth with the kingdom in it. And, the recovering of the remnant of his people. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 12. And he shall raise a banner for the nations and gather the outcasts of Yisrael. Who are the outcasts of Yisrael? Who are the outcasts? And assemble the dispersed of Yehuda from the four corners of the earth. Who are the dispersed? Whoever the dispersed are, whoever the outcasts of Yisrael are, and whomever the dispersed of Yehuda, Judah is, he's going to gather, he's going to assemble from the four corners of the earth. From the four corners of the earth. Verse 13, and the envy of Ephraim shall turn aside, and the adversaries of Yehuda be cut off. So you got to remember, Ephraim, if I'm not mistaken, is originally the son of Joseph. And Joseph clearly found his wife in Egypt. in Mitzrayim. So, and he had children. He had children with this wife, and Ephraim and I can't remember the other name, but Ephraim was one of the children. And the envy of Ephraim shall turn aside, and the adversaries of Yehuda be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Yehuda, and Yehuda not trouble Ephraim. So this is peace amongst the brothers. This is peace amongst the relatives. No envy, no trouble. Verse 14, but they shall fly down upon the shoulder of the Philistines toward the west. Together they plunder the people of the east. Who are the people of the east that they'll plunder? Who are the people of the east that will be plundered by Yehuda and Ephraim? So they'll fly down upon the shoulder of the Philistines toward the west. So whoever the Philistines are toward the west, they will be flying down on their shoulder. Together they plunder the people of the east, their hand stretching forth on Edom. So whoever Edom is, hand will be stretching forth on Edom and Moab. So the hand will be stretching forth on Edom and Moab. And the children of Ammon, also the children of Ammon, whoever Moab, whoever Ammon, whoever Edom are, the hand will be stretching forth. The hand of Ephraim and Yehuda will be stretching forth on them. And shall be subject to them. Basically subject to Yehuda and Ephraim. Verse 15, and Yahuwah shall put under the ban the tongue of the sea of Mitzrayim. Whatever that is. And he shall wave his hand over the river with the might of his spirit, and shall strike it in the seven streams, and shall cause men to tread it in sandals. There's going to be a lot going on. This is after judgment. This is after the return of the Mashiach, and this is while the kingdom is present on earth. Verse 16, and there shall be a highway for the remnant of his people, those left from ashore, whoever his people are from the shore, modern day people, as it was for Yisrael in the day when he came up from the land of Mitzrayim. So it will be a path as it was a path for Moses and those who had to flee Mitzrayim with Moses. It would be a path. It would be a path, and that completes chapter 11. Let's move on to chapter 12 and keep in context. Chapter 12, verse 1. And in that day you shall say, I thank you, Yahuwah. Though you were enraged with me, your displeasure has turned back, and you have comforted me. Though you were enraged with me, your displeasure has turned back, and you have comforted me. Verse 2, see, El is my deliverance, meaning God is my deliverance. I trust and am not afraid. For Yahuwah is my strength and my song, and he has become my deliverance. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 12. Verse 3, and you shall draw water with joy from the fountains of deliverance. Verse 4. And in that day you shall say, praise Yahuwah, call upon his name, make known his deeds among the peoples, make mention that his name is exalted. That his name is exalted. Verse 5, sing to Yahuwah, for he has done excellently. This is known in all the earth. Verse 6, cry aloud and shout, O inhabitant of Zion. For great is the set apart one of Yisrael in your midst. So he will be in our midst. It will be every reason to cry out loud and shout and sing to Yahuwah and exalt his name and praise Yahuwah and call upon his name, make known his deeds. That was the end of chapter 2. Chapter 12. Let's get into chapter 13. Verse 1. The message concerning Babel, which Yeshayahu, son of Amoz, saw. So this is separate. This is a message concerning Babel, Babel, that Isaiah saw. So he's going to describe what he's seen in this prophecy concerning Babel, just to give you context for chapter 13, which is clearly, let's read. Verse 2, lift up a banner on the high mountain, raise your voice to them, wave your hand, let them enter the gates of the nobles. Verse 3, I have commanded my set apart ones, I have also called my mighty men of my displeasure, my proudly exalting ones. Verse 4, the noise of an uproar in the mountains like that of many people, a noise of uproar of the reigns of the nations gathered together. Yahuwah of hosts is gathering an army for battle. So this is give you context. This is still in the time of judgment. This is still in the time of the kingdom returning. And this is, the host, Yahuwah of hosts, is gathering an army for battle. And there's a lot of noise. It's an uproar. It's about to go down. Verse 5, they are coming from a distant land, from the end of the heavens. Even Yahuwah and his weapons of displeasure to destroy all the earth. Yeah. Verse 6, howl, for the day of Yahuwah is near, meaning howl, like a wolf. Howl, meaning like cry out, because for the day of Yahuwah is near. It comes as a destruction from the Almighty. Verse 7, therefore all hands go limp. Every man's heart melts. Every man's heart. Could you imagine? Like, my heart melts just by the thought. And I got like a good imagination, and I can put together some pretty decent pictures in my head. And my heart melts when I read, because as I'm reading, I'm depicting in my imagination, in my head. And I'm sure others can do that as well. But it's like, man, it says every man's heart melts. Verse 8, and they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows take hold of them. They are in pain as a woman in labor. They are amazed at one another, their faces aflame. So these are the people who are these are likely the people in power that's scared, and they overwhelmed by the coming of the Most High, his only begotten Son, in their army. Verse 9. See, the day of Yahuwah is coming, fierce, with wrath and a heat of displeasure, to lay the earth waste and destroy its sinners from it. That's what he's coming to do. That's what he's coming to do. Those, and what I mean by sinners, those who are unrepentant and have no intentions on repenting of their sins. These are the sinners he's coming to destroy. No intentions on repenting. No intentions on turning, meaning when I say repenting, turning back to his instruction. This is who he's coming for, to destroy. Verse 10, for the stars of the heavens and their constellations do not give off their light. So this is what was described in the Messiah in the Messiah's prophecy in the book of Matthew chapter 4. This is the same description of, this is consistent with what the Messiah described in his prophecy in chapter 24 of in the book of Matthew. This is Isaiah chapter 11 verse 10. I'm sorry, chapter 13 verse 10. For the stars of the heavens and their constellations do not give off their light. The sun shall be dark at its rising, and the moon not send out its light. Same description that the Messiah described in the book of Matthew chapter 24. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 13 verse 11. And I shall punish the world for its evil and the wrong for their crookedness, and shall put an end to the arrogance of the proud, and lay low the pride of the ruthless. This is what he's coming to do, man. All those entertainers, politicians, rulers, CEOs, owners, leaders of the world, the arrogance, the proud, the arrogant, the proud, the crooked, the corrupt. He was going to lay low. He's going to lay them low. He's going to humble them. The ruthless, he's going to humble them. Verse 12, I shall make mortal man scarcer than fine gold, and mankind scarcer than the gold of Ophir. So he's basically going to do away with the flesh, the children of the flesh, the children of the world, those who are committed to their flesh, those who are invested in their flesh, those who are living in their flesh and have no intentions on living in the Spirit of God, no intentions on returning to the instructions of God, to live in as the Spirit of God. Those who are committed to their flesh, he's going to make them scarce. He says, I shall make mortal man scarcer than fine gold, and mankind in general scarcer than the gold of Ophir. These are the flesh. These are people committed to their flesh and what's made for the flesh and what's made by the flesh and their fleshly living. He's going to make you scarce. Verse 13, so I shall make the heavens tremble, and the earth shall shake from her from her place. Same description that the Messiah depicted in his prophecy in the book of Matthew, chapter 24. This is chapter 13 of Isaiah, by the way. So I shall make the heavens tremble, and the earth shall shake from her place, in the wrath of Yahuwah of hosts, and in the day of the heat of his displeasure. The heat of his displeasure. Verse 14, and it shall be as the hunted gazelle, and as a sheep that no man takes up, every man turns. Wait, let me reread that. And it shall be as the hunted gazelle, and as a sheep that no man takes up, every man turns to his own people, and everyone flees to his own land. Verse 15, whoever is found is thrust through, and everyone taken falls by the sword. Verse 16, and their children are dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses plundered, and their wives ravished. Wow. So this is clearly the family of the ruthless. This is clearly the family of the arrogant. This is clearly the family of the corrupt, the crooked. This is clearly the family of the proud, those in their pride. This is clearly the family of the flesh, children of the flesh. This is how the Messiah and his army is coming, returning to. This is how he's going to do the wives and the children of those who are arrogant and ruthless and are crooked and corrupt and are wrong and are evil. He's going to do this to their wives and their children because they have the same in them. Unfortunately. Verse 17, see, I am stirring up the Medes against them. So whoever the people of the Medes are, whoever the Medes will be, he's going to be stirring up the Medes, modern day Medes. He's going to be stirring up the Medes against them, who do not regard silver. And as for gold, they do not delight in, so they can't be bought. He's going to be stirring up a people that can't be bought, who has no concern with money. You can't buy them off. Yo, back off. Like, take this. They not accepting no bribes. This is a people that won't accept no bribe from these people that are in position of power. When the Most High sends his army, he's going to be sending these people of Medes, Medes. He's going to be sending them to catch wreck. Let me see. He's going to be sending them to catch wreck, and they won't accept no silver. They won't accept no gold. They don't take no delight in money. You can't bribe them. They just come to do the work of the Most High, which is destruction, destroying the evil and the corrupt and those in position of power. Verse 18, and the bows dash the young to pieces, and they have no compassion on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes spare no children. It's got to be an evil people, man, for the Most High not to spare the children of this evil people. Think about it. You that evil that your child can't be spared, or your children can't be spared. How is it that you're that evil that the Most High is certain that you're like your evil is in your children? And it may not be. It may be just because you're just so evil, and you've done the same thing to other people's children. And this may very well be the case for people who have done harm to other people's children. This is the Messiah not sparing their children. This is the Most High not sparing their children. Because these are clearly men, women who have benefited off of, doing all this to other people's children. So this will be done to their children. No mercy. No mercy. Medes. Appreciate that. So the Medes is pronounced Medes. Appreciate that, brother. So yeah, he's not going to show any mercy. The people of the Medes will not accept no bribe when they come to strike down the families of the corrupt, the families of the crooked, the families of the ruthless, the families of the arrogant, the families of the proud, the pride, the evil, and the wrong, who are in position of power in the world, who benefited off striking down other people's families. He's not going to show these people, the Most High is not going to show no mercy. The army of the Most High is not going to show no mercy. Just like they didn't show any mercy to other people's families, their children, their wives. He's not going to show no mercy to when their day come. And bows dash the young to pieces, and they have no compassion on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes spare no children. This is the children of Babel. Verse 19. And Babel, the splendor of reigns, the comeliness of the pride of the Kasdim shall be as when Elohim overthrew Sodom and Amorah. So it should be like he's going to crash down on them like he crashed down on Sodom and Amorah. Meaning Sodom and Gomorrah. Verse 20. She shall never be inhabited, nor be settled from generation to generation, nor shall the Arabian pitch tents there, nor shepherds rest their flocks there. So this is going to be an end to all that. Ain't no chilling. Ain't no visiting. Ain't no, ain't no travel resort. None of that. Verse 21. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be filled with owls, and ostriches shall dwell there, and the wild goats frolic there. So animals take over like, man, this be us. We here, we in here. No more chilling. It ain't going to be he's going to wipe out all flesh who are invested in their flesh, who are committed to their flesh and have no intentions on becoming spiritual children. Let's make that clear. These are people who had no intentions on becoming spiritual children of the Most High. These are people who have no intentions on repenting, meaning turning back to the instructions of the Most High. These are them. Verse 22. And hyenas shall cry in their citadels, and jackals in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days are not drawn out. Time is coming for these people, for these folks. Babel is everywhere. The system is everywhere. Babel is the system. It's all over the world. And the Most High is going to crush this system that's in place. Chapter 14, verse 1. because Yahuwah has compassion on Jacob, and shall again choose Yisrael and give them rest in their own land, and the stranger shall join them. The stranger should join them. Let's keep that in mind. The stranger should join them. And the stranger should join them, and they shall cling to the house of Jacob. Verse 2, and peoples shall take them and bring them to their own place, and the house of Israel shall possess them for servants and female servants in the land of Yahuwah, and they shall make captives of their captors and rule over their oppressors. So these are the oppressors. This is separate from the strangers. These are people who were wrong or came from a people of wrong that were doing wrong and just wanted to do right. And it was just like, man, listen, I want to serve you because you've been serving me, or you've been serving us. We've been doing you wrong, or doing your people wrong, or doing people wrong in general for so long. How can we make it right? I want to humble. These are people who are willingly wanting to be held captive and willingly wanting to be servants because they benefited off of oppressing and benefited off of, holding captive and having people have servants. And this is separate from the strangers. The strangers will be clearly those who never wanted that and just, they just were strangers to Yisrael and Jacob, and they grafted in. They cling to the house of Jacob. Verse 3, and it shall be in the day of Yahuwah, and it shall be in the day of Yahuwah gives you rest from your sorrow and from your trouble and the hard service in which you were made to serve. Like, who was made to serve and who was made to serve hard service? This is who he's speaking about. Those who were troubled, and had hard service, and who were made to serve. They were made to serve. So he's saying he's going to, in that day, in the day of Yahuwah, in the day of judgment, in the day of the kingdom, he's going to give those people rest from their sorrow. Those who were made to serve, and those who were forced to serve, and those who had hard service, it's going to give them rest. It's going to give them rest. Verse 4, that you shall take up this proverb against the sovereign of Babel, the king of Babel, the king of the system. That you shall take up this proverb against the sovereign, the king of Babel, the king of the system of Babel, Babylon, and say, how the oppressor has ceased, the gold gathered seized. How the oppressor has ceased, the gold gathered seized. This is what we say to the king of the system. It's over for you. Your gold You get that? It's over for that. Let me get that. Yahuwah has broken the staff of the wrong, the scepter of the rulers. So he's going to break the staff of the wrong, the wrongdoers. Those in position of power and the leaders of the world, the system, the rulers of this, the Babylonian system. He's going to break the staff of the wrong, the scepter of the rulers. Verse 6. He who struck the people in wrath with ceaseless blows. He who ruled the nations in displeasure is persecuted, and no one restrains. So this is the Most High that's going to carry out this wrath, man, and he's going to use some people to carry it out as well on these rulers of the world who rule ruthlessly. Verse 7. All the earth is at rest and at peace. They shall break forth into singing. So all the earth will be at rest and at peace, man, because the people who were in position of power are no more. This is the day of Yah. This is the day of judgment. This is the day that the kingdom is amongst us. So when the people who are in position of power are no more, all the earth is at rest and at peace, and they shall break forth in singing. Verse 8. Even the cypress trees rejoice over you, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since you were cut down, no woodcutter has come up against us. Come on, man. Even the trees is celebrating like, yo, these people ain't making room no more. They not trying to build over us. They not knocking us down, cutting us down in order to build their buildings, in order to build their policies, in order to build their corporations. They're not cutting us down no more. Even the trees will celebrate. Since you were cut down, no woodcutter has come up against us. Basically mocking them like, yeah, you was cutting us down. The trees will mock these people with power. You was cutting us down. Since you was cut down, there has no woodcutter has come up against us to cut us down no more. Because the woodcutters is cut down themselves. The woodcutters will be cut down. It ain't no more cutting us down to make space and property and corporations, and it's over for that. Even the trees will be talking they talk. Verse 9. Sheol, that's the grave. Sheol from beneath is excited about you. Even the grave is excited about having these powers, these people who's in position of power. The grave is excited. Oh, they coming finally. Sheol from beneath is excited about you, to meet you at your coming. It stirs up the dead for you. All the chief ones of the earth. The chief ones of the earth. These are the people that was loving their position of power. The rulers of the world. The leaders of the world. The chief ones of the earth. The grave is going to be staring itself up like, yeah, let's get ready. They coming. It's going to be excited to have the chiefs of the earth, the leaders of the world, all the chief ones of the earth. It has raised up from their thrones all the sovereigns of the nation. So basically, the grave is going to be staring up all the ancient kings and all the ancient leaders and rulers who ruled ruthlessly before you. It's going to be staring up all of them like, yeah, come join the gang. Come join this smoothie. Come join this blender of ancient kings and rulers and chiefs and dictators and oppressors. Come join. Come join in. Like, yeah, this is the grave. And ultimately that grave will be the fire of that lava. That's ultimately what the grave will be. Verse 10. All of them respond and say to you, have you also become as weak as we? Have you become like us? This is what they'll be. This is what the ancient kings, the ancient rulers, the ancient oppressors will be asking the modern day kings, modern day rulers, modern day oppressors. All of them respond and say to you, have you also become as weak as we? Have you become like us? Verse 11, your arrogance has been brought down to the Sheol, the grave, and the sound of your stringed instruments, the sound of your stringed instruments, the maggot is spread under you, and worms cover you. Your string instruments. So these are these rock stars. Is it? These rock stars who are arrogant about being devoted to the enemy? Yeah. Yeah. The sounds of your stringed instruments. The maggot is spread under you, and the worms cover you. Yeah. Verse 12. How you have fallen from the heavens, O Hallel. And that's the shiny one. How you have fallen from the heavens, O Hallel, son of the morning. You have been cut down to the ground, you who laid low the nations. So this is where most brothers and sisters get this Hallel. They don't say hallelujah because they think that they're saying, they believe that they're calling on the enemy. But Hallel simply means shining one. And it also could mean praise, like basically clearly praise, because when you say Hallel Yah, that means you say it's praise Yah. So shining one and Hallel, the Hebrew, Aramaic, whichever it is similar to each other. But that's not It's not the enemy himself. It's just describing the enemy as the shining one. It's a description. Hallel is stands for the shining one. It's not the. It's just describing the. It's just describing the enemy. Son of the morning, you have been cut down to the ground. You who laid low the nations. Verse 13, for you have said in your heart, let me go up to the heavens. Let me raise my throne above the stars of El. And let me sit in the mount of appointment on the sides of the north. Verse 14, let me go up above the heights of the clouds. Let me be like the Most High. Verse 15, but you are brought down to the Sheol, to the sides of the pit. Sheol is the grave. Verse 16, those who see you stare at you and ponder over you, saying, is this the man who made the earth tremble? Who shook reins? Verse 17, who made the world as a wilderness and destroyed its cities? Who would not open the house of his prisoners? Verse 18, all the sovereigns of the nations, all of them, were laid in esteem, everyone in his own house. Verse 19, but you have been thrown from your burial site like an abominable branch, like the garment of those who are killed, thrust through with a sword, who go down to the stones of the pit, like a trampled corpse. Verse 20, you are not joined with them in the burial site, the burial place, for you have destroyed your land and killed your people. Let the seed of evildoers never be mentioned. This could either be describing the enemy himself, which most believe, or just the most wickedest, evilest man on earth. Either way, this is how they will be done in the day of judgment, the day of the kingdom, the day of Yah. Verse 21, prepare his children for slaughter because of the crookedness of their fathers, lest they rise up and possess the land and fill the face of the world with cities. So, yeah, children of the enemy, all those who lie, steal, oppress, are ruthless, disobedient, wicked, corrupt, unfair, evil. These are the children of the enemy. This is the work of the enemy and the ancient knowledge of evil. Verse 22, and I shall rise up against them, declares Yahuwah of hosts, and shall cut off from Babel the name and the remnant, and offspring and descendant, declares Yahuwah. So those who are in position of the power of the system, Babylon, throughout the whole world, he's going to cut off the remnant so no one can take power. No, it can't be passed down. The position of power can't be passed down no longer. Is no more inherited. Is no more inheriting the system of Babylon that rules the world. No more inheriting in that. There's no more passing that down to the next generation. Verse 23, and I shall make it a possession for the porcupine, and marshes of muddy water, and shall sweep it with the broom of destruction, declares Yahuwah of hosts. Verse 24, Yahuwah of hosts has sworn, saying, truly, as I have planned, so shall it be. And as I have purposed, so it stands. So it stands. So as he has written it, as he prophesied it to be, as he spoke it through Isaiah to be, as he spoke, as his Messiah, his only begotten son spoke it, it will be, and it will stand. Verse 25, to break Ashur in my land, and tread him down on my mountains, and his yoke shall be removed from them, and his burden removed from their shoulders. Verse 26, this is the counsel that is counseled for all the earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out over all the nations. Verse 27, for Yahuwah of hosts has counseled, and who annuls it, and his hand that is stretched out, who turns it back? Like who's gonna stop the Most High from wrecking on the powers to be? Nobody. Verse 28, this is the message which came in the year that sovereign Ahaz died. This is the message. Verse 29, do not rejoice, all you of Philistia, that the rod that struck you is broken. For out of the serpent's roots comes forth an adder, and its offspring is a fiery flying serpent. Wow. Verse 30, and the firstborn of the poor shall feed, and the needy lie down in safety, and I shall kill your roots with scarcity of food, and this shall kill your remnant. So he's telling the Philistia not to rejoice because for out of the serpent's root, meaning this ancient serpent, comes forth an adder, and its offspring is a fiery flying serpent. So this will be a fiery flying serpent, almost in the sense of a dragon. And this just remind me of the after the 1,000 years, you know, the serpent will be released, that ancient serpent or whatever, the enemy or whatever, something will be released afterwards. After I believe it's how it says in the book of Revelations, after the 1,000 years. Verse 31, how, O gate, cry, O city, melt away, all you of Philistia. For smoke shall come from the north, and there is no stranger in his ranks. Verse 32, and what does one answer the messengers of a nation? That Yahuwah has founded Zion, and the poor of his people take refuge in it. Chapter 15, verse 1. The message concerning Moab. Because in the night Ar of Moab was laid waste, was silenced. Because in the night Kir of Moab was laid waste, was silenced. Verse 2. He has gone up to the house of Dibon, to the high places to weep. Moab is wailing over Nabal, and over Medeba. On all their heads is baldness, and every beard is cut off. So these are the people with bald heads and bald chins. These will be a people of, just no hair whatsoever on their heads or their faces. Verse 3. In their streets they shall put on sackcloth, on the tops of their houses, and in their streets everyone wails, weeping bitterly. Verse 4. In Heshbon and Elele cry out, their voice shall be heard as far as Yahatz. Therefore the armed ones of Moab shout, his being shall tremble within him. Verse 5, my own heart is towards Moab, her fugitive cry unto Soar like a 3-year-old heifer. For by the ascent of Lahith they go up with weeping. For in the way of Haranaim they raise a cry of destruction. Verse 6, for the waters of Nemrim are waste, for the green grass has withered away. The grass fails, there is no greenness. Verse 7, therefore the wealth acquired and stored up they take away to the wadi of the willows. So there's going to be some wealth taken away. Verse 8, for the cry has gone all around the borders of Moab. It's wailing to Aglim, and it's wailing to Be'er Elim. Verse 9, for the waters of Dimon shall be filled with blood. For I shall bring more upon Dimon, lions upon him who escapes from Moab, and on the remnant of the land. That completes the chapter 15 of Isaiah chapter 15. I'm going to be picking up this Shabbat Torah reading in the book of Matthew. I'm going to end this for now, and I'm going to log back on. I'm going to go live again, but I'm just want to separate these videos. This was the book of Isaiah, chapter 11 through 15, and yeah, let me be sure. One second. Let me be sure that I want to make sure that this is what it was. This is where I should be stopping. Yep. So that was the book of Isaiah. That was the book of Isaiah. Sorry. So that I just wanted to be sure that this is where I should be stopping. The book of Isaiah we just covered the book of Isaiah chapter 11 through 15. And it was heavy. It broke down, it continued breaking down, the Isaiah's prophecy that coincide with the prophecy of the Messiah in the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and also broke down the fall of the enemy and looked to appear to break down the um the unchaining or the unleashing of that ancient serpent after the 1,000 years that Revelations speak of. So yeah, that was the reading. I'm going I'm going to get into the book of Matthews in the next live shortly. Just give me a couple minutes. I'm going to end this one, but I'm going to pick it back up in the book of Matthews and the teachings of the teacher, Yahushua HaMashiach. Hallelujah, hallelujah, praise Yah, may all glory be to Yah, Yahuwah, Shabbat, Yahuwah Almighty, Yahuwah Most High, Yahuwah El Shaddai. Stay with me. I'm going to log back. I'm going to go live. I'm coming back. Give me a couple minutes. But until then, peace, love, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, peace, love.